He sets the agenda.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. It is exactly 9:43 a.m. South African time. We cross over to Gaza and we are going to be joined by Khatam Abd. She's a Palestinian from Gaza, and we're going to be talking to her about a new development in the Western world regarding the status of Palestine. Assalamu alaikum to you, Khatam. Welcome to the program.
Alaikum salam. Thank you. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Lovely to be speaking with you. Shukran for your time. Okay, we have a statement here from the United Nations, and I'm going to read the opening paragraph, and I'd like you to respond to that. It says, as member states of the United Nations, we reconfirm our unwavering support for the International Court of Justice and international law as the cornerstone of our international order, as well as our commitment to multilateralism. So obviously this has to do with a whole host of countries regarding Israeli government's decision to impose punitive measures against the Palestinian people. Is this a welcome move? Do you think that by this statement and commitment by the 40 odd countries that have pledged support, is this going to change the status quo for the people of Palestine?
Yes. Okay. What they did is a very good and noble move, but the question remains here is that does these sanctions, does these rejections and retaliation actually do something for alleviating the Palestinian suffering? And does really the ICJ, the International Court of Justice, actually make or take steps to apply to actually stop the siege on the Gaza Strip, for example, to stop the displacement happening in Masafir Yatta, or to stop the raiding that is happening, the breaking in Jenin and in Al Khalil, and we have murders every day. I mean, I don't know. It's actually very respectful and very supportive, but something must be done. Someone must move.
What needs to happen, Khatam? What needs to happen to change the situation, the atrocities, the horror that the majority of the Palestinian people are experiencing on a daily basis by the Israeli occupiers?
Well, what I have to say is that the officials, the Arab or the foreign, someone needs to do something. Someone needs to move. I'm talking about morality here. I mean, massacres are being committed. The Nakba 1 and 2, and you know that in early months I have watched and some people, some settlers, actually, sorry for that, some settlers cheering for we need a third Nakba. I mean, why would you need a third Nakba? See, if they are putting this in their, if the settlers are actually saying this, what do you have to do about this? So what I'm saying here is someone needs to take a step, like the officials, I don't know, I'm not saying presidents, but I'm saying officials who have the right to decide, who actually can make decisions about this. Need to step forward.
Khatam, I too came across that news report where the occupiers, you refer to them as settlers, I refer to them as unofficial occupiers of your lands. I've come across that report where they're saying we are ready for a third Nakba. Do you think that's very provocative on their part? And I'm just thinking, for young people who are so incensed by this occupation and the atrocities that the Palestinian people have suffered over these years, it could trigger you, could it not? And you could be seeing yourselves in a third Nakba, and that would be disastrous for the Palestinian people, because it's almost suggestive that the Israelis are waiting for this to happen because they're almost wanting to, to wipe you guys off the face of the earth.
Yes.
Did you hear my comment?
Yes, yes. I think the Israeli occupation are actually putting more pressure on the Palestinians. As you can see, the latest measures that they have taken to cut off our supplies or to take from our financial or finance. I think the Palestinian authorities have tried multiple times to make an agreement to build something to settle with this, but I think the Israeli occupation wants to have the land for their own. I mean, a third Nakba would completely be a disaster. Yes, it would be. Where are we? We are in 2023. What is happening to the world? Why can't the people move? Why can't the people retaliate? Well, if the people retaliate, the governments won't allow this retaliation. So what's going to happen afterward? We're just people are just going to watch us die, and they're going to say, "Poor them," and just they're going to be sad and condemnation, and everything happens. But no one is actually taking action. No one taking measures to stop this.
Sadly, yes, nobody wants to be drawn into a war, a very ferocious war that might end up in that region. So these are very kind words from these 40 odd countries. Um, if you had the opportunity to talk with their leaders and them directly, their ambassadors, their diplomats, etc., what would you be saying to them?
What I want to say is that the people of Palestine have had enough, or I would say like more than enough of the occupation. As you can see, like I said before earlier, we have raids on Jenin, in Gaza. We can't even wake up every morning and I'm sitting in my home and I'm not feeling safe because at any moment there might be a war. Someone might be dying. Someone I love might die. So I'm talking here to you as a person, as a human being. I'm not talking as a politician, as an activist, or any human right defender. No, I'm just talking to you as a human being. We need justice.
What does justice look like for you? My final question. Oftentimes, the occupiers have made statements like the Palestinians want to drive them into the sea. They want to drive them out of what they believe is rightfully their land, as was stated in the First Testament. They believe they are the rightful owners of the land of Palestine. What do you, as a young Palestinian activist and other people like yourself, see the solution being for Palestine and possibly the occupiers as well?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, that the Palestinian authorities have tried to make lots of deals with the Israeli occupation. They don't want that, but we do really have the right to exist. We Palestinians have the right to exist. So they don't need to judge us for being retaliated or for taking a step forward, for resisting, because we do have the right to exist, because it's our land. We are the landowners. It's not
Are you
them.
prepared? Are you guys prepared for a two-state solution? Is that viable at all? Is it workable for for the Palestinians and the Israelis? Or are young Palestinian people saying, you are the occupiers, you need to leave our land and let us exist amongst our own people in peace?
Exactly. Exactly. It's our land. Look, in Palestine, we have multiple people. We have Christians, we have Muslims, we have other identities too. We live in harmony. We actually lived in harmony thousands of years ago. But the occupation came and they just ruined everything. And they just want everything for themselves. They don't just want us to live in harmony and peace. Perhaps you can live okay, but under certain conditions.
On that very sad note, then let's wrap up. We do hope and pray, inshallah, that the situation does change for the Palestinian people. I always
Thank you.
say to all of the guests that come on here from Palestine that we here at Salam Media in South Africa will keep your hopes and your flag raised very, very high up. We'll never forget the Palestinian cause. So we'll
Thank you so
always
much.
tell your stories. You go well, and we keep you in our du'as, inshallah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. And thank you for being
No,
in solidarity with the Palestinians.
lovely talking with you. Go
Thank
well,
you.
keep safe. Assalamu alaikum to you.
Alaikum salam. Thank you.
It is exactly 9:53. We are ready for our final, no, not final, next interview. We still have another interview coming up shortly after 10 o'clock. But next up, we're going to be speaking to Iman and Alia Kassim, the two sisters, and they're going to be talking about their journey through the sport of fencing, inshallah.